siblings: Jimmy, Kathy, Jean, Paul, Stephen, Danny, Mary, Susan, Brian. My parents' small contribution to the baby boom generation. There were so many of us. My parents were outnumbered. So they let us kind of grow up on our own, unless we were in trouble. We never saw our parents alone. And it was kind of like growing up in a wolf pack. Think about a wolf pack where you just kind of play with vigor, and then you eat, you dive into that food and eat, and then you sleep, and you get up and you do it all over again. I relied on my siblings to help me understand the ways of the world and answer questions. My parents were too busy. And I looked up to my older brothers. I had 4 older brothers. I looked up to them like gods. And especially my brother Danny. He was 5 years older than me. And whatever Danny did, I wanted to do. He's like my idol. Danny learned to ski, so I learned to ski. Danny learned to work on his man. With practice, you could do it too. And Danny was a small-time marijuana dealer in college. Me too. Danny would help me understand things. You know those little questions little kids have? Like, for example, my mother would drive us to the swimming pool in our VW microbus. We'd be piled in the back. We would pass the cemetery. And in Delaware, they have more of these. They're little stone buildings about 6 feet by 8 feet. You know, I know you might think they're mausoleums, but they're not. Okay. Danny, what are those little buildings in the cemetery? Well, Mooey. Now, in a wolf pack, we had nicknames. You would have thought I could have maybe been called Kit or Bunny, something cute and feminine. No, my nickname was Mooey. But it kind of went along with me because tomboy would have been too feminine of a way to describe me. You can laugh, it's okay. So, Mooey, those little buildings, you'll be buried in one of them if you die in prison. Oh. Those prisoners must have been special, Danny. They must have had a lot of money. Driving to the beach from Delaware to the Jersey Shore in a little microbus. We would pass farms, and on these farms they had pipes that come out of the ground, come across and come down. And I had Paul, the god of agriculture. And he was like about 9 years old. Paul, what are those pipes for? Well, Louie, you grow spaghetti on those pipes. It's a spaghetti farm. Oh, where's the spaghetti? I don't see it. Well, they just planted the seeds. It's growing. And across the street from Paul's farm was Stephen's farm. And they had the same pipes, which you may have thought were for irrigation. No. Now, I believe these things all the way through high school, especially the myth about the buried in prison, okay? And Stephen had the same pipes. Stephen, what are they for? Mooey, that's where we grow pipes. You mean it's a pipe farm, Stephen? Yeah, a pipe farm. And then little toilets grow up. And then little sinks. And then sometimes showers grow too. Well, Stephen, where are they? They already cut them down and took them inside. So I relied on these brothers to explain things to me, so I would understand the ways of the world. They also taught me how to eat. And eating in a big family. Anybody here from big family? It's a defensive act, right? You have almost as many brothers as me, right? You have to protect your food, right? Especially meat, or sugar, or junk food. Okay, so it's a defensive thing. And my brothers were so awful. They would just take my food. And I never had seconds on meat growing up. And the only time I ever had a second piece of bacon is when we went out to eat at a buffet. There's piles of bacon. And the next time that microbus pulled up to the restaurant, the owner put a sign on the door. Closed, plumbing broken. So they should have called my brother, the god of kitchens and baths. He could have harvested the toilet. So now, they also taught me how to eat meat. You have to go for it fast, or else you're stuck with the vegetables. Who wants vegetables when you're a kid? Now, when I married my husband, I was only 22. And let me tell you, he had some meat. He had a lot of meat. I think his family lived next door to a stockyard. They had so much meat. They had second helpings. They had food I'd never heard of, like chicken salad and roast beef sandwiches, because they had leftover meat. And his family had a very funny way of eating potato chips. They would just take them one at a time, and they would share them. And they would offer the last one, here, you take it. No, you take it. I didn't understand that. Because in my family, you had one 11-ounce bag of potato chips for the week. Okay? And you had to be home when they came in the front door. And the message would be relayed, because Mom never talked to me directly. Millie, come on, help with the groceries. We'd run out to the microbus, look in all the bags, try and find the potato chips or the sugar frosted flakes. So you find them, you grab them and you hide them. Run into the bushes. Maybe emit a little noxious odor, so that it will disguise it when you open it up. Because once I open it up, it's all over. Okay, I'm ready though. I'm ready. Okay, open the bag. No!